Welcome back to the Boondocks Homestead, y'all. I'm glad you're back. And if this is your first time visiting with us, so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to show you all how I do our breakfast sandwiches ahead of time. Okay? And there's nothing like being able to go get in your freezer, grab you out a bacon, egg, and cheese, or a sausage, egg, and cheese, or a burrito, or whatever you want, for breakfast. And it's homemade. You know what's in it, and it's a lot cheaper. Okay? It just takes a little bit of preparation, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, I went over to my Blackstone. I didn't get no video of that, but I cooked up my sausage and my bacon on the Blackstone, and that way I can get it all done at one time. And I'm running a little short this morning, but I wanted to get this done because this weekend is deer season for us, and I'm not going to have time to be back here fixing bacon, egg, biscuit, and gravy and hash browns and all that stuff. No, because I'm going to be hunting. So I'm just going to let me grab a spoon real quick. And I'm going to show you what I do. Now, this is my lard. If you watch our videos, you know we render our own lard. And I don't buy grease from the store. I'll put a little bit on here and go ahead and get my pan. I preheated my oven to about 500. You can do 450 if you want. I mean, it's 450 to 500. And I'm going to go ahead, and you don't have to have a pan like this. You can use any pan. You can use a round cake pan. You can use any iron skillet. You can use whatever you got. Use what you got, okay? I'm just using this because I use cast iron, and I just have this. I actually bought one for over here. I've got one over at the house. I've got a lot of cast iron because that's all I basically use. I use some stainless steel. I'm going to just put that back in there because it's going to go on my biscuits here in a minute. Let me grab some paper towels. So that's what I start out. I preheat my oven, grease my pan. I'm going to throw me some self-rising flour in here in a bowl. I'll go ahead and measure it out just in case you all need to know how much I put in here. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. I think 4 cups would do it with some left over. So we'll say 4 cups. Okay. But I may have a little left over because I don't ever measure it. I probably should, but I don't. Then I just kind of put that up in the sides a little bit. Put me a little hole there. And I'm going to put my... Now, if you don't have lard, you can use butter. If you don't have butter, if you've got Crisco or any kind of solid, okay, you don't want to put vegetable oil or nothing like that in it. I mean, maybe some people do. I wouldn't, but some people may do that. So I don't want to say that, but I don't. Okay, so I'm going to put a solid. I'll put a little bit more. I got me out another thing here. This is some of it that I froze. Now I just put it on the shelf. Okay, I think that'll be plenty. So that's probably about 2 heaping tablespoons, and this is a teaspoon. So I'm going to say probably 2 heaping tablespoons of lard or any kind of solid, okay? And now these are buttermilk biscuits. Now sometimes I'll throw some of my sourdough in that. Those are good too. But we're not going to today. I'm in a hurry, and I'm just going to make these. And hold on. you can throw a little salt. Throw a little salt in there. That'd be good. And then I'm going to put, I guess I'll measure it. Here's 1, 2. I'm going to put about 2 3/4. About 2 3/4 in there is what I put in there. Okay. Now my hands are clean. If you want to put gloves on, by all means, do it. Okay. And then I'm going to get in here with this lard. It's still kind of hard, so it's kind of hard to squish up in here. Okay. But I'm going to try to squish it up a little bit, because when I start working this flour into it, I don't want big hunks of lard all through my dough, you know what I mean? Which the more I mess with it with my warm hands, the more it will break down. I just squirted that plumb over my hand. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start doing it. And I'll just put a little bit of flour in here at a time. But eventually, most of this is going to be worked into it. Okay. And if you want to use a spoon, you can use a spoon or a spatula. I just always use my hands, and then I end up wiping my hands off, washing my hands. You know, I don't know. Whatever works for you all. That's what I say. Whatever works the best for you. Okay. I might have to have some more flour. I don't know. We'll wait and see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour this out on the counter. So there's all of our flour and all of our stuff. And I just realized, I looked up in there, I'm like, well, I hope they can see what I'm doing. Yep, we're going to need a little bit more flour. Let me get this off my hands, because everything's just sticking with it, and I got to grab my flour. So I'm going to try to make it even here. And we'll do about another cup and see what happens. Not all at once, because I don't think I'll need it. I might. You don't want to knead it too much. Just kind of fold it. You don't want to really knead it. Then your biscuits will be tough. We want some of that flour down in there. I think that's about going to do it, y'all. So almost another full cup, okay? A little bit more on top. Might be a full cup. Okay. Then I'm just going to pat this out. I got my hands all yuck again. Okay. Now, you can use whatever size cutter you want. I'm going to use the biggest one because these are going to be for sandwiches. Okay. I'm just going to cut them. I should have got you down here where you could see better, but I think you'll be able, you get the gist of it. You can see what I'm doing. That one there. That's a really thick one. We're going to use it though. I like them thick biscuits. And then after they rise, they're tall. You know, I'm going to tell y'all a little, it's not a secret, but I'm going to tell you something. Now, you know, at one point or time in your life, or many times, you will humble yourself and do something that you never thought that you might do, right? And one time in my life, I thought I would never, especially at the age that I was, I don't remember how old I was. I was probably, I'm going to say maybe, I don't know how old I was. But anyways, I don't know if the boys lived at home or not. I don't remember. But anyway, I never thought I would go back and work in another restaurant. You know, because had done worked at 911 for 10 years and other office jobs and different stuff, right? Well, it just so happened that this particular year, it was winter about this time, and I didn't have any extra money. I was unemployed, and I didn't have any extra money, and I thought, how in the world will I buy gifts? You know, because that's how your brain thinks sometimes in your life until you understand that it's not really about that. But at that time, I did, and I thought, how will I buy gifts for everyone? You know, in the family, and so I went and I worked at Hardee's. I did. I went to work at Hardee's. And guess what I did? I made buttermilk biscuits. I did, and they're so good. They're so good, and they're pretty much homemade. I mean, they're not really, but they are. I mean, I had to do all this with them. But it was a mix. It was a mix, but they're good. They're so good. They're so good. Hardee's biscuits are awesome. And of course, I never could probably, well, I didn't know what was in that mix. And they're not going to let anybody know. You know, why would they? So when I started making these several years ago, I tell you what, these are probably about as close as you're going to get to it. But of course, I always say, but better because it's homemade. But they really were. When I made Hardee's biscuits, when they say you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you do. I was at work at 4 o'clock every morning. And I worked there long enough to do what I needed to do. But I'll be honest with you, I kind of missed it when I left there, because, and it wasn't even about the money after that, because I did the purpose which I was out to do, you know, to make money for the holiday and to buy gifts for my family. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with this. But I really actually missed it after I left. Anyways, I just thought I'd share that with you. Okay, I'm going to put these in 500 degree. I'm doing 500 degree on this. 10 minutes. Sometimes you might have to go a little over. Sometimes you might have to go a little under. Everyone's oven's different, right? So, just going to put them in there like that. I've got enough to do a few more. I think I'm going to, because I don't know how many I'm going to do. Yeah, I think I'm going to, I don't know if I can get it. I can probably get 2 more out of here and put it on a little. Well, why not? Why wouldn't you? You don't want to waste it, right? Let me see if I can do it. And then I'm probably, let's see. Try to make it a circle. There you go. 2 more. Now let me see. What can I put them in? I'll put them in this. Hold on. Now let's see if I can. There's a little bit in here I can put on here. On this little pie pan. I think they'll both fit. We're gonna make them fit. You know, if it don't turn out, it don't turn out, y'all. It's not a big deal, but I'd rather try than put them in the. I'm gonna put them just like that and put them in the oven. Then to throw it in the trash. Why would I throw it in the trash? We're gonna try it just like that. I'll be right back with you, and we're gonna do some eggs. Oh boy. Okay, I have a little bitty metal spatula and I couldn't find it, and I want to get these off of here because they keep cooking, right? They're going to keep cooking on this cast iron. So I want to get these off of here so they don't keep cooking. Ooh, look at that steam. Look how big and fluffy them are. I love big old biscuits, and nothing better than put some honey and butter on one of these. Oh my goodness. Them's going to make some good sandwich biscuits. Okay. Well, there they are. Ooh, them's gonna be good. Gonna be good. And these here, I don't know if you can see them. They're not quite done. We're gonna put them on this and put them in there. See it? They were too scrunched up. So I'm gonna put them back in the oven for a minute and let them cook. Now, I wanted to tell you that I did have to cook them an extra 4 minutes. I baked them an extra 4 minutes on top of the tin. So 14 minutes, but look how they're tall. They're tall biscuits, fluffy. All right, let's do the eggs. All right, I put a dozen eggs in here. They're farm fresh eggs. They look a little dark. There's pepper. I put salt, pepper to taste, whatever you think, okay? We're going to put it in a 9 by 13 baking dish, okay? So I take a little bit of heavy cream. I've always done this when I do scrambled or whatever. You know, you can use milk. If you got 2% skim, it don't even matter. Just a little bit of milk. It makes it go a little further, but this makes them a little fluffier, okay? So I'm going to put about a fourth of a cup. Put, yeah, about a fourth of a cup. All right. Get my and whip them up. All right. Don't take but a second. You can do that with one of these. You don't have to have this. This is for my bread anyway. But you don't have, you can do it with this right here. Take a little bit longer, but not much. Let me check my biscuits. All right. They weren't quite done. So you're going to get you some spray or some lard or some butter or something to, there's a little bit in here because I used the can that was almost gone. And you want to spray it really good so your eggs don't stick to that, okay? And then, you can see, you're just going to pour that in there. Now my salt and pepper, seems like it'll stick to the, I got to get all this out. Plus you don't want to waste your eggs, right? Them girls work hard for them eggs. They do for us. So, all right. Now I'm going to put that, get mixed up right there. We're going to put this in a 400-degree oven, which is what I got it on now. And that's why it's taking those biscuits a little bit longer to get done. And we're going to put them in there till they're done. I don't know exactly how long it takes because I just watch it. So I'm going to watch it and I'll keep track of the time and let you know. I'll be right back. All right, while the eggs are cooking, I thought I'm going to tell you what I do next while that's going. I go ahead, and these are warm, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut them in half. And that'll help them cool off even more because I really want this stuff cooled off. And now let's put the top with the bottom and just go down there like that, okay? Because I want them cooled off before I wrap them up and put them up. All right, because these are going to go in the freezer. And when you bring them out, y'all, what I do is I just put them in a paper towel or something, or if you've got a type of a microwave. If you don't have microwave, you're going to have to bring them to room temp and then put them in your oven. No big deal, okay? Just take a little bit longer, but it's not a big deal. It's still doable. It's probably better for you than putting it in the microwave. But what I do is put it in a paper towel or something and then put, oh, my biscuit, come on. That's okay. And then put it in there for like 1 minute. Like you got to watch it, okay? Because your cheese is on there and everything. And you may even have to take your top off to get your stuff so your top don't get too done or whatever. Got these done. Put this on my other hand. Now, y'all, I used I'll try to put these in the description on this video. I bought 3 of these in a set, and it's just, you know, the big one I use for the biscuits. I'm going to go 1 under for the egg. It's kind of ruffled up there on the edges, but we don't care. They're prettier when you do it like this, but if you just want to take a knife, you probably wouldn't waste as much, because I think I'm only going to get 1, 2, I might accidentally get 3. Let's see. Try to go all the way to the edge. 1, 2, 3. That is hot. I'm just going to tell you. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that'll work. We'll waste a little bit, but not, it won't get wasted, trust me, not here. Because the dogs or us, or I might have to piece some of them together to make, see, and if you cut it with a knife, you wouldn't have to do that. I just think this makes the sandwich look better. But you know what? It ain't always about looks, is it? And see, those I'll have to cut because it won't. Yeah. We'll get a couple out of there. Now, I still can't find my little spatula. So, I'm going to take these. See, they're round now, like the biscuit. And I'm going to put them on this to let these cool off. And then we're going to put them together. So don't y'all go nowhere. All right, we're going to start putting these together. So I'm going to grab me a biscuit, top and bottom. I'm going to go here. I'm going to put me some meat on here. I usually put about 3 pieces on each one. I'm going to go down here and grab me an egg. I'm going to grab me a piece of cheese. And yes, I put that whole big cheese on there. I don't scrimp on the cheese. You got to have that cheese. You can't skimp on that, okay? So we'll do a sausage one. There's the sausage. There's the egg. There's the cheese. There's the lid. Okay? And then I just go down through here. And I do each one of them until I run out. And then that's what I have. And there you go. That's better than anything you're going to buy at the store. Okay? It really is. It truly is. I mean, it's okay if you have to buy it at the store. I've done it. But if you can make it, now that's a sandwich. Okay? That is a breakfast sandwich. And it just don't get no better than that. It just don't get no better than that. That one was broke. I'm going to have to figure out how to put that one back together. We'll do a sausage, egg, and like I said, y'all don't have to do it exactly like I did it. If you want to cut your eggs, you know, however you want to do it. It's just however you want to do it. I'm going to put the sausage on that side. Okay, and then I'll tell you how I do put them up for the freezer. Let's get this done real quick. Some of them, they like the bacon and you can do that too. You can take a biscuit and you can put your bacon on it. You can put a piece of sausage on it. And you can put an egg on it. Now, you really got a sandwich. I think that's how the guys were eating them. I probably should do that with all of them. I think I'm gonna. Now, look at that sandwich. Now that is a sandwich. There we go. And then I'll go ahead and use these on some of them. We'll go ahead and put some on some of them because might as well. I don't have no more biscuits, right? We'll go ahead and put that meat on there. We will. One more. See? Now them are some sandwiches. If I had some more biscuits, I've still got a little bit of egg. But you know what? Lord willing, I'm here in the morning. I'll just warm these up with a little bit of this and put it on some bread, and I've got me a sandwich. And that's how you do that. All right, now I'm going to show you how I pack them up to put them in the freezer. I get me a little bit of wrap. Put it on here. Put my sandwich upside down. And I just fold them up in here. And then these will go into a Ziploc bag. I don't have any great big ones. I do over at the house, but that's okay. I think I can fit about 3 in these. And that's how I put them up in the freezer, y'all. And if you don't want to use all this plastic, then don't. Use whatever you got, you know. I don't like using all this plastic either. And I'll tell you something else. I never thought that I would be that woman that washed her bags and let them drain dry and kept them. I never thought I'd be that woman. My mom did it for years and years and still does it at 84. And I never thought that I would be that woman, but I am. I am that woman now. Yes, I do save my plastic bags. Not all of them, but like stuff like this. Now I didn't because I have some over here. But I have got like 2 great big bags full of bags, just in case. I mean, who's to say, you know, things aren't going to get tough and I won't be able to afford them. I might not be able to afford them. I can hardly afford them now. So, you know, I don't know. So that's what I do. So just grab you some bags and put them up in the freezer. And look, that made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 of them. And that didn't take hardly no time to make those. And that will fill you up. I promise you that will fill you up. Now, a big guy or something, it might take a couple. I don't know. It fills Tim. One of them fills Tim up. So, I don't know. I think it'll be okay. All right. I'm going to get off here. Y'all, I got to go get on the bus. And I love y'all. And thanks for watching. Thanks for watching and being a part of our little community on our YouTube channel. And Lord willing, I'll get back with you. I might be on here tomorrow. I don't know. I was thinking about making a big old pan of cinnamon rolls or maybe some pumpkin cinnamon rolls. That might be what I make. And I may just get on here tomorrow and do that video so y'all can see that too, okay? For the weekend. Have them for the weekend. I mean, I know it's got sugar and we're trying to stay away from sugar and we've been doing really good. That's why we've lost so much weight, staying away from that sugar. But every once in a while, you should treat yourself just to treat yourself because, you know, just because. All right? I love y'all, and Lord willing, I'll catch you on the next video.